Good morning, students. How are we all today? I hope you're doing great, taking good care of yourself, and most important, staying safe, happy, and healthy. Now, continuing with our previous class, where we learned about notice writing. It is one of the topics of our writing skills. So, we dealt with introduction of the notice, why we write a notice. We learned what a notice is and why we need to write a notice. Today we'll do the same topic in detail, where we will learn about the format of a notice writing, because that is the most important part of a notice, the format, the style of writing. And then we learn about different kinds of notices. So let's recall our introduction to notice, what it is and why it is drafted. A notice is a formal means of communication, so it is always formal. We are putting up notice for people whom we usually do not know, so it has to be formal. The language, the means, the style, everything has to be formal. Otherwise, if we use very casual language, if we make a very casual notice, the reader or the person who is concerned, the concerned person, he will have a very bad impression of the people who are putting up the notice. So they will not have a take a second look at that notice. They'll get a very wrong impression of the issuing authority. So it has to be very formal in style and writing. And what is the purpose of a notice? It is usually to announce or display information to a specific group of people. So it is meant for some specific or large group of people. That specific group can be large group of people also. It is not meant for just one person. If it was meant for one or two person, we can just pick up our mobile phone and call that person. We don't need to put up a notice for that. So here we put this notice because we want lot of people to know about the kind of information we want to give to them. So notices are generally meant to be pinned up on specific display boards. If it is a notice for the internal group of people, like if we have to announce something to students in our school, to the parents, we display that notice on the display board in the reception center or just in our classrooms. But if the issuing authority is some other office, and that office or organization wants to inform a large group of people, then they can send it or share it through newspapers or social media. Nowadays there are so many means of issuing those notices. So notices, if it is the internal matter of the office, they are displayed in the office itself. But if it is from the government and we want the public to know about it, they appear in newspapers or they can share it through social media nowadays. Now the most important part of our notice, what is it? It is the format. What steps and what things we have to keep in mind before issuing a format. Like for example, we want to give a good impression to the reader, so it has to be formal and we have to follow certain steps and certain rules before displaying that notice. So what are the steps? A notice should be written in the following format. The word notice is always there in the notice, and in bold letters. Like you can see, the notice word is written in bold letters here. So it has to be in like this only, so that the reader, it catches the attention of the readers, the person who is interested in that kind of notice. So it catches the attention, so it has to be in bold letters. Now after that or sometimes before that, most of the times what we write here in India, we write the name of the organization first, issuing the authority, issuing the notice. A heading to introduce the subject of the notice, and then we write the subject is always there. The subject is the gist of the topic, the main part of the topic, where we write the whole body is summarized into a few group of words or in just one word. So it is the gist or the summary of the whole notice. Then the date is always there, and the body is the explanation of that subject is the topic where we give an idea to the reader about the notice, what the notice is about, and in the body or content we give the full explanation. And then the writer's signature, the issuing authority who issues the notice, the signature is there. After that, name of that authority in block letters again. And last of all, it is the designation, the rank of that person issuing the notice. So this is one way of writing a notice. You can see in the center, and one thing, it is always put up in a box. So green portion you can imagine as the box of this notice, and in the center on top of that box, we the word notice is written there, or it is always the name of the organization. Here what do, we write the name of the organization or the office first, and after that we write the second step is the notice. I'll be showing you those kinds of formats also, because we have to write in that format only. So it is the notice word in bold letters, after that is the organization. But remember, for us it is name of the organization first, and after that we have the word notice in bold letters, and the third step again in the center of the box is the heading or the subject is what the notice is about, what our notice is about, the main part or the idea what the notice is about. After that we have the date on the left hand side of the box. Remember, left hand, first three steps they are in the center of the box, top center of the box. After that we start with the left hand side where we write the date, and then after leaving some space, we start writing the body or the main content of our notice. After we are done with the content or body, the issuing authority puts up the signature and his or her name, and last is the designation. You can see it is all in the left hand side of the box. Now, points to remember. What you have to remember, that was the format. Now, going to the points, what you must always remember. A well written notice must inform the readers about the 5 W's. What 5 W's? What is going to happen? Like, what are you issuing the notice for? If it is an event, if it is a tour, or if you have lost or found something, where it will take place. If it is a tour or an event or some, like we events, we have annual days, we have sports days, we have some competitions, so you have to write the venue, the place where it is going to be held, and what is going to happen, what is the occasion, then when, the timing when it will take place, and whom does it apply to, who all can be interested in this notice, whom to contact or apply to, and last, if that notice is written, how can you know further about that notice, which person to contact to know further information about that notice. And remember, since it is a formal way of writing, so what all you have to remember, only the most important point should be written, because it is a formal thing. So you have to be very formal. You can't just go on about writing a whole story so that the person loses interest and he's no more interested in reading the notice. So you have to be very formal. You have to be very precise and concise about it. You have to be very brief. Whatever you want to convey, just stick to that. Don't go on about writing stories. Then AOD, what is that? Any other detail you want to give in that notice. Of course, we have to remember about 5 W's, but if there is something else you want to convey to the reader, you can Also, right, if you think that it is a very important thing that the person should know, then only you can add, you can mention that part. For example, if you are going for an excursion, you want to put up a notice for that excursion or picnic in the school, so you want to mention about the price or cost, how much you have to pay for that picnic, you can mention that. Apart from the other details, 5 W's, you can give some more information if you think that that information should be conveyed to the people concerned. One is free to add any relevant information not included in the question. It is same, if you want to know, if you want people to know about something very important, you can also add that information. The sentences should be short and grammatically accurate. Of course, your English should be correct. Now, points to remember should be in the passive voice as far as possible, because we are concerned with the people here. We are not talking, we are not using direct language or direct sentences, so it has to be passive voice. That means the receiver of the action should be the main part in this. Is always presented within a box. The word limit for a notice is 40 to 50, since it is a formal, so you have to stick to some word limit. Like I said, you can't go on about relating a whole story. Just stick to the main points of the notice. Only the words in the body of the notice are counted. Now, information given in a notice must be clear and should not cause any misunderstanding or confusion. Whatever you want to convey, just stick to that. But remember, the reader should be able to understand what you want to convey. So your language and your those grammat it should be very brief and concise but understandable. You should be very clear in your thoughts. A notice must be catchy and appealing. Like I said, why we write that notice word in bold letters, in order to make it catchy, so that the person, it catches the attention of the reader at once. It should attract the reader's attention at once. Increase the visual appeal of your notice by using bold letters, catchy slogans, striking words and phrases. For example, if you're talking about, if you have to announce about your annual day, sports day, you can put up some you can put up some sort of pictures there, just to attract the attention of the reader. Standard abbreviations are allowed, and abbreviations which are acceptable can be used. Now, value points. This is when we are, this is the kind of notice. If we are putting a meeting notice, these are the things we have to keep in mind. What to add in that: date, of course, date of the meeting, time of the meeting, venue, the place where it is going to be held, and agenda, what are the points we are going to discuss in that, and purpose of the meeting, why we are holding that meeting, and who all are attending. Then contact address and specific instruction, what you want the members to remember. So this is how a meeting notice can be put up. The notice word is there, then name of the organization, and the gist, the subject, meeting of science society. Then the date is given, body with date, time and venue, the important information, and then the signature of the authority or issuing authority, name in bold letters, and last is the designation. Now here, lost and found, what things you have to keep in mind while putting up this notice. The thing, the article you have lost or found, you want to give the information about that, and when it was lost, time also, and where it was lost, any identification mark, so that the person who is reading the notice can identify at once. Of course, the thing I have found, it belongs to the person who has issued the notice. And the contents, if that, whatever, if you have lost a bag or if you have found a bag, what was inside that bag, you can write that also. Whom to contact and when and where. So all this information has to be put up when you are issuing an notice, where you have lost or found something. Now, this is the sample of this. Notice St. John's High School, the name of the school, and then the main subject found sports kit bag. Then the date is given there. After that, the body is there and signature of the person who has issued the notice, name of that person, and last is the designation, the head boy. Now, value points, if you are issuing a notice to announce about some events, name of the event, what is going to be the occasion, then date, when, and occasion, what is the occasion, time, venue, eligibility, and contact address, specific information. So this all has to be included in a notice where you want to announce some event. So this is the sample of this notice where we want to announce some event. Like we are here, the name of this event is charity fair. And why are we holding this charity fair? What is the occasion? You can put up that occasion. You can write about that occasion. And date is there. Then the body, venue, time, date, everything is written. And last is the sign of the issuing authority, name of the issuing authority, and then the designation. And again, if you are holding some exhibition or tour or camps, this all should be included in that name and nature. What kind of tour is it? What kind of camp it is? What is the occasion? Why we are holding this tour? Then where it is going to be held in the venue? Date, when, and objective. What all do we want to achieve out of this exhibition and all? Entry fee. See, these are the additional informations you want to give in this entry fee, time, duration, contact address, and then specific instructions, what all you expect the invitees to do and what all you expect them not to do. And this is the sample again. Notice word, then the name of the organization, then the subject, then the date, body, signature. The name of the person is not mentioned here, but the designation. And these are other notices which you can put up. Now coming to our main this is how we are putting the format in our notice. See, here it is. This is one of the formats of a notice. Name of the institution or organization. After that we write the word notice, and it has to be in bold letters. These are all kinds of different formats. I'll tell you which one we will be following. Date. Here the date is mentioned before the heading. Then body or content. Soon after the heading, body or content is given there. Then signature, name, and designation. Yes, this is it. Again, see, name of the organization. Then we have the date. Then we have the word notice. And after that, the subject, body, then signature, name, and designation. See, these are all different kinds of notices we are putting up. Now, this is the main which we will follow. Remember this. This is the main which we will follow. Name of the organization, then the word, it is just the name of the organization. And this immediate word is with this. It is which school we are talking about. Then the word notice in bold letters. Then the date. After that we write the heading. And then we write the body, signature of that person, name of that person, and the designation or the class to which the boy or the girl belongs to. So this is one way of writing. And this, since class 5 is dealing with lost and found format, you have to remember these points. Step 1, step 2, you will read it on your own and then follow the same steps. Now again, one more format. School name of the institution, then the date, notice, title or heading, all the students or members. These are the ones you will follow. What you can do, you can also, soon after this name of the organization, you will write the word notice, and on left side of that notice, in the same line, you can mention the day. After that, you can write your subject of the notice, and then the body, and last is the name with designation and your signature. So these are the different formats we will follow. The last ones I have given you, we will follow these. So if it is a notice where we are announcing something, so you are writing your date, everything there, venue and everything. So these are the different formats we will follow. Like I said, you can make some changes also. Name of the organization, then the word notice, and alongside that notice you can write the date also, and then the subject of the notice, then the body of the notice, and last is the signature with name, after that the designation. So these are the different formats you will follow, which I have given at the end. These, this one, you will follow this format of the notice writing. Remember this, the name of the organization should always be on the top, and notice and date can be in the same line, with notice word in the center and date on the left hand side. After that, there should be the subject of the notice or the main topic. Next comes the, after some space, leaving some space, you can write the body of the notice, and last on the left hand side comes the signature of the issuing authority, name in bold letters, and last is the designation. So this is the kind of format you will follow. So that would be all for today. Have a good day, children.